Well, FREE is Faculty for Radical Education and Enlightenment. It started as a book club originally. I had read a book called Teachers as Intellectuals by Henry Giroux, and he was talking about how professors need to, like they were in the 1960s, do teach-ins, and they'd get together and they would really explore things with each other and then create space for students to have active learning themselves.
And what this does is it takes existing classes already. You already have to meet for psychology or poli-sci or English or whatever you have to meet for, and it brings you together in an interdisciplinary way to explore difficult, controversial topics. So today we thought we'd pick a really difficult one, race. Woo, that's a hard one.
And that's one thing I recommend for FREE, that you have kind of a curriculum, a book, something that gets you anchored, and then you talk about the topics and see if some controversial theme or theme that could be very interdisciplinary emerges.
If Barack Obama made it, why are my sisters and brothers burning in the flames of a nightmarish American dream that just sounds deranged?
And when we read that poem, we began to go with that as a driving force. And that's where Blisson from math came up with some of the statistics to back up the poem.
Compared to the inequality I see every single day, this world leaves us so broken. Is it any wonder people kneel down to pray? So, my family, if you truly want to love me, I have just two conditions. First, recognize all the diversity within human existence simultaneously. We're all constructed from the same elements. So what, you ask, and question my relevance? Second, accept that our collected humanities all intertwine. So my freedom's dependent upon yours dependent on mine. That means as long as teary-eyed mothers ride along with black babies in hearses, that I'll continue to cry out for justice in all my verses.
And so anthropology brought in culture and white privilege and brought in the cultural perspective of what is culture.
White privilege. White people benefiting from social, political, or economic circumstances. These include freedom to move, buy, work, play, and speak freely in professional, education, and personal context. If somebody says Black Lives Matter, right? I'm wearing a band here, Black Lives Matter. And then some people will say, yeah, all lives matter. Well, yeah, of course all lives matter. Nobody's saying all lives don't matter, but they're saying we have an issue in this country. We have a real issue in this country where if you're born in this country as a black person, especially a black male, you have a significantly higher chance of ending up in prison before you're 21.
FREE is supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to bring people that don't know each other well together. You know how it is kind of awkward and uncomfortable? It's supposed to make people kind of on edge and a little bit geared in so that they're actually going into the discomfort of a controversial issue in a way that they're engaged. One of the things I wanted to bring up is we were using art as a medium for learning. So art as an intellectual method to advance learning. And so it was Julia from anthropology who had the brilliant idea to have the students stand and present their artwork in an empowered way.
I created this piece to not only inform people of what you're being taught in society, also as the education system, is that we're not being told the complete truth about what actually happened, what ground you're stepping on today. And I listed some events on the desk. It's supposed to be a desk with a history book that says History Lies. And on there, there's some events in time that say, what I believe are very important, like the relocate, accumulate, terminate of Native Americans. Also Wounded Knee, the Dakota 38+2, it was the biggest mass execution in U.S. history held by Abraham Lincoln. But I wanted to educate others and also the Native youth that that the truth is out there, and sometimes what you're being told in school isn't completely the truth. But that's my piece right here.
Some of the themes that we've done in the past, we did binary opposition, we did censorship, we did the vision, we did something about evolution, I remember, we did that once. So we've done lots of different topics. I think they even did fear once. And so next year when we go to do it, water would be really great.
I've been stopped by the cops 150 times, probably a little bit more.
I've been stopped and searched more than 100 times.
If you look at some of the men in the video, you get to this number of 150 times, even 20 times, which was the lowest number on the screen. It's just a ridiculous amount of times to be stopped, right? Not be charged with anything. Just stop because you happen to walk on the streets in these neighborhoods while you're Black or Latino. And so if you were to be in an art gallery, you would actually be standing in the middle of these screens, right? So you have 3 men on one side, 3 men on the other side. And you've seen there was this moment of silence in the video. That's basically because they're standing facing each other and you're standing in the middle, right? So you're in the middle of everything. And they're not all talking at the same time. So that's if they're having a conversation with each other across the room and across the ocean. And they're telling each other how many times they have actually been stopped. And if you're a visitor and you're standing there in the middle, you're kind of in the midst of it all, right? You can't turn around and ignore this problem. You have to face the fact that it's happening.
You are going to create, it'll be like a graffiti style art piece. Anything goes. This is your guys' chance to just have some fun, make a mark.
That's part of the pedagogy. That's part of the learning moment. When everyone's a little bit keyed up and a little bit engaged in that kind of way, it actually kind of makes for breakthrough moments. That's what we're looking for is breakthroughs.